We welcome you back to In Focus. The Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo remains a volatile area despite several peace efforts. Now, rebel leader Laurent Nkunda is threatening continued war if the government refuses to agree to negotiations with a neutral mediator. He says the government has not responded to his repeated request. Nkunda accuses Congo's army of collaborating with Rwandan militias currently terrorizing people in parts of eastern Congo, a charge the government denies. Nkunda has renewed calls for the Congolese to overthrow the government. Several students in the U.S. have come together as part of a series called Congo Week to bring attention to the ongoing conflict in eastern DRC. VOA's Paul Ndiho has that story.
Eastern Congo is still plagued by violence between rebels and government troops, even after holding elections in 2006. The Congolese army is battling fighters loyal to renegade General Laurent Nkunda. Human rights groups blame both sides for committing gross human rights abuses against civilians, including mass rapes and murders. Recently, here in Washington, D.C., activists from several American universities and the advocacy group Friends of Congo held a news conference to call attention to the violence. They are using this month to lobby the U.S. Congress to help rescue the people of Eastern Congo. Margot Bukang is one of the student coordinators. She is a Congolese and a grad student at American University in Washington.
As a young Congolese woman, the ongoing civil war in Eastern Congo and the sexual violence of girls and women in Kivus are deeply personal and painful. The current violence against these women is a violation of African womanhood and our culture. Thus, it is imperative that the conflict end.
Rebel forces control wide areas of eastern Congo. The region is rich in gold, minerals used in tin and mobile phones. Human rights groups complain that the money earned from mining and trading these natural resources fuel the conflict. Laurent Nkunda signed a peace agreement with the government earlier this year, but heavy fighting erupted in August. Another Congolese university student in the United States told the press conference that Congo has gone through tremendous struggles since foreign armies from Uganda and Rwanda first invaded their country in 1996. Kambali Masavuli is an engineering student at North Carolina Agriculture and Technology State University.
Nearly 6 million people have died. Half of those deaths are children 5 years old or younger. We have now up to 200,000 registered rape victims. Can you just imagine the women that have not registered yet? And just for the month of July, we had 40,000 more that registered as rape victims.
The students say that fighting in the Congo will end only when the media and the international community focus more attention on the crisis. They say that only then will the people of the region be able to live in peace. Paul Ndiho, VOA News.
Chioma Orul, a student at Howard University here in Washington, is among those trying to bring attention to the conflict in eastern DRC during Congo Week. She tells why to VOA's Paul Ndiho.
Friends of the Congo, an amazing organization that I had linked up with earlier in this year, had presented Maurice Carney, who was a representative of the organization, had done a presentation on the Congo and had mentioned the 6 million people that had died since 1996. And from there, I had been involved with Resist AFRICOM, the new military program that's coming into Africa. So it's a natural transition into understanding how militarism has affected African people, and then looking at the Congo specifically and knowing that they have done an amazing job of organizing students across this country with that message of 6 million people dying since 1996 and counting, and what are the factors that contribute to that, and what we can do, and what it's all about. So it's raising awareness and breaking the silence around this issue, that how can we be silent? with 6 million people dying.
What do you hope to accomplish at the end of this week?
Mainly awareness raising, having more people than we started the week out with, knowing about the Congo, knowing about this issue, knowing about the situations around coltan and being more responsible consumers, as far as coltan's relationship with our cell phones. On Wednesday, we're having the sellout where we're calling on students to turn off their cell phones and understand that this is part of the reason why these 6 million people are dying, that they're dying for these products, not just coltan, but cobalt and magnesium and copper and diamonds. There's so many resources that the Congo has access to, and its gift of these resources has been the curse of its people. So raising those awareness, and our main goal is to make sure that by the end of this week, the students, not just students, their families, and all that ripples from students, recognize and know this story. And this is something that we as a generation can pick up and make a movement out of.
Well, it's so sad to see little kids being victimized in a war that they don't even understand why it's being fought.
But you know what is very inspiring here is that you have these students here in the United States who are coming together in such a strong force, putting together this Congo Week to raise attention to this.
And that is if everybody would realize what is at stake in a country like Congo and many other African countries when you're talking about why wars are fought and who really suffers more, who kind of faces the bigger brand of this war. It is terrible.
We hope it will have a strong impact, that this Congo Week comes to something.
For more information on these stories, go to voanews.com.